Hi everyone and welcome to the Sounds of Stadia post show, episode number 24, our first one of the new year, officially. I know one went up on New Year's Day, but this is our first one we've recorded. Before we get into the year, we get into all the gaming news, we thought we'd just bring you another fun game of video game 20 questions, because apparently you guys love playing along at home and we love playing it, and it saves us really putting a set agenda topic for discussion. So we will again return to topics when there is stuff to talk about, but we've just spent an entire podcast, our first of the year, talking in depth about Stadia resolutions for 2021, the games we played over Christmas and stuff. So go check that out if you've not already done so, depending on how the timing works of this. So we thought we'd bring you another video game 20 questions with a Stadia title in particular. I have a title in mind. If you've not played this game before, the rules are how it works is my lovely two co-hosts Tom and Richie have 20 yes or no questions to guess a Stadia game that I've picked out from the dock and see if they can break the everlasting title that me and Tom hold from last week. Of course, you're joining myself, Chris, alongside my lovely two co-hosts Tom.
That's me.
And Richie.
I'm just looking at your hands. You should be holding your hands out like this.
And Richie.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
What are you doing? I need something to hold.
That's the one thing with podcasting I always feel like you miss, like with the day job in person. You'll know this, Tom. Like you do a lot of gesturing with your hands, just talking to people and pointing, and in sitting here, just addressing a camera is very, very different. So yeah, you're to my side, and Richie is.
That's here.
My hands go off camera.
Chris is up and Tom's down for me
when I gesture towards Richie. So yes, we'll get used to it. One day we'll do the podcast all in the same room again together. It seems like we've done pretty much all of them in our separate rooms. Either way, we digress. You're here for Stadia 20 questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for checking out the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you're watching this on Patreon, hi patrons, thanks for watching this early. This, of course, is your exclusive early access show that you get on the day of recording, usually. And it goes on free feeds up to 5 days later. So thank you very much for your additional support. And if you want to get it early, head over to patreon.com/SoundStadia, where we bring you this and other chat and channels and gaming. We've got much, much more planned for 2021. So just watch this space. And gentlemen, let's get into the game. You know the rules, and so do I. So that's back. That's always going to return. Games in my head. 20 questions. Remember, Richie, minimize all those Stadia libraries from your screens. Empty your minds. Get rid of the games.
Empty my mind. I need to be thinking.
No, empty everything. Everything you know and will know. Just take a sip. That was a loud sip. A bit of a slap on that one.
Sorry.
Oh, you could say audio listeners, but there's no such thing as an audio listener for.
I was going to apologise for that one.
I don't think the post show would actually work as an audio form, would they? Really? Would people be interested in that? I have to let them know.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments below.
And we'll put all 24 episodes up.
All right, question 1.
We actually probably could.
Question 1.
Are you ready for question 1?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay.
Set chilling.
Is it a
video game?
3-dimensional game?
3-dimensional, yes.
That rolls out very little.
Rolls out plenty, thank you very much.
Is it a Ubisoft game?
No.
Oh, we're finally away from those Ubisoft games.
Yeah. Just want to get the rules right off the bat.
Okay. I'll do the usual one. Is it a shooting game? Okay. Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Okay.
So it's not Ubisoft, it's not a first-person shooter, and it is in 3 dimensions. Or 4 dimensions, or 5 or 6 or 7.
It could be, yeah. It
All
could be
the
more than
dimensions.
It could be just a dot.
Got Rick Astley in my head now.
What?
The Curse.
We need to start narrowing things down because
I mean, I've got tons of questions. I'm ready to like. But
the questions go.
No, Richie, no, that's not a good idea because I'm going to burn questions at this rate. They're questions that will help, but they are not like they're not good questions, shall we say?
I am thinking about maybe just how do we rule out some like genres of games?
Yeah.
But there's some things like RPGs where you could go, is it an RPG? Where there's a lot of games where you could debate whether it is or not because a lot of games now have RPG elements.
So do you go with the question? But then do you state it like, would this game be classified? Like, would this game be classified as an RPG game? That's the kind of question we could ask him, but I'm not asking him at the moment.
Right. What I'm going to ask you is, does it have a talent tree?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. That's an interesting one. A talent tree. I like that.
I think it's a talent tree. That's one of the things when people usually go, it's got an RPG. It's because it's like an action game with a talent tree.
Right. Okay. So not Ubisoft. Did we say 3-dimensional? Is that right, Richie?
It's 3-dimensional.
3-dimensional, not Ubisoft, and it has got a talent tree.
Yeah. And it's not a first-person shooter.
Not a first-person shooter. Okay. So...
This game's going to get so much harder over the next year.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
As the
Especially when you
400
dig
games
really,
come out.
dig really deep into that library as well for some really obscure indie title. Oh, there we go. Let's ask that question then. Would this game be classified as an indie title?
He's thinking.
Is he going to have to do some research?
2 moments.
He's going to have to do some research.
From his reaction alone, I'm guessing it's something that's borderline in indie.
Yeah.
It's not obviously indie, so it's not.
I'm trying to think like quite long and hard about games that have got talent trees now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I need to start listing off games, like writing down games myself that I could think of that fit the definition.
As long as we don't ask him a question, we can talk back and forth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
you can
true.
chat amongst yourselves.
So Richie, so we're clear that Cyberpunk is written off then because of the fact that it's a first person. It is first person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, although Cyberpunk could be questionably considered to be an indie game.
Yes,
because it's self-published. But
yeah.
I don't think anyone else would be going, Cyberpunk's an indie game. But
yeah.
So it's not Cyberpunk.
3D. It's 3D.
Yeah. It's not the Tomb Raider franchise because they're not borderline indie. Although he hasn't actually answered that question yet.
No, I definitely wouldn't say Square Enix is indie or Crystal Dynamics.
Absolutely. No, that they're a big publisher. They're definitely not indie. Yeah. Anything published by them is categorically not indie.
Cool. All right, we're on the same page there then.
Yeah.
I'm just going to search for the company's name and ask, is it indie, and see if Google gives me answers. No.
Okay.
It's just not an indie.
Not indie.
But it's probably double. I'm thinking now it's probably double A then because it's probably a smaller studio. I'm thinking something like the size of something like a Serious Sam, but obviously it's not a first-person shooter.
See, if I'm being honest with you, Richard, do you know where I'm sort of leaning to now? Oh no, there isn't a talent tree. I was thinking Outcasters for a second, but there's no talent tree.
Yeah. And Splash Damage actually.
But I mean, it's 10 cents now. So.
As the deal went through, but that's
yeah. I mean, is it worth us going down the route? Do you think, Richie, of asking whether it's a new game or not, or even possibly the exclusivity route as well?
Yeah, if we're going to go for like the new game sort of question, we need to be pinpoint down what the question is because then you don't want to get an argument: is it new to Stadia or is it just new?
Oh no! Even then, I was just thinking Orcs Must Die 3, but that doesn't have talent tree. You can, unless he considers like the upgrading of the traps to be something like that.
It's not really a tree. It's usually you get a upgrade. So it's not a tree by definition needs to have.
Oh no, that's first person as well. I was thinking Borderlands 3 for a second then as well. Okay.
Oh, God, I'm getting quite lost.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite lost with this one as well.
You've only asked 5 questions, so you have got a bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, but I don't even have a game in mind that might fall in the category at the moment. That's why I'm reluctant to ask questions.
Okay.
It's not going to be Hitman, because does Hitman have talent trees? I don't think it does. Does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just doing a bit more research while we debate. Let's fire a question off. Let's go with the question. Let's go with. It's probably going to be a wasted question, but I will ask it anyway. No, actually, I won't ask that question because I've just realised the list is very limited if I ask that question.
Yeah. Well, if it's right or wrong.
I mean, if it's right, fantastic. We've got a very small pool of games to pick from. But if it's wrong, it barely eliminates anything. So let's ask the question then: is this game? Did this game come to Stadia in 2020? Oh, that's not a good question, actually.
No, it's not, because there's like 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's come out in the last 3 days, and it's not something that came out in like December 2019.
Well, that takes off the Tomb Raider games then. Oh, that was poor. Yeah, I realised as soon as I was saying it, I was like, that's a really bad question.
At least you didn't say 2021.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Although if you got a yes on that one, that would have been fantastic.
Is there anything that's released this year yet?
I suppose it's the Pro. No,
they're not released though, have they?
No.
Nothing.
Could you ask that? Could you ask that question, Richie? Could you ask him whether it's whether
has it ever been a Stadia Pro title?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost went with is it, but I know there's quite a few games that have fallen off. So
that's a good shout. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now we've got to think of titles that haven't been Pro.
Oh God.
I mean, we've had a lot of them Pro now.
So it's got a talent tree. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not an indie title. But by his reaction, it's clear it's not an obvious AAA massive studio. It's not Ubisoft. It's never been a Stadia Pro title.
And it came out in 2020. It was released on Stadia.
Yes, it came out in 2020.
Well done, Tom. Absolute genius.
I'm sure that might actually be the worst question we've had so far.
Yeah, I'll apart from the 2 wasted ones that we had that last time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You got an idea?
Ooh, I do have an idea. I do have an idea. I'm just thinking about how to word this. So, Richie, I'll tell you where I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards Jedi Fallen Order. But it's EA. It's EA. Respawn is EA, isn't it? So that would have been a very quick for Chris in terms of indie.
But he might have been doing that to throw us off. That's not a definite that it's not an indie. He could be playing games.
Why do we do this?
And look at the smirk on his face.
Again, remember, I'm just going to try and keep smirking.
Okay. All right.
Can you rule that out?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll rule it out then. So, we'll rule it out by saying, because I'm going to get hit another one with this. Is this game part of a larger film franchise?
Yes.
Right. So then we've got Marvel's Avengers and we've got Jedi Fallen Order.
Avengers didn't even come to mind.
Yeah, I know. But then again, it's Square Enix.
Can you play as multiple characters in this game?
Yes.
So it's not Jedi Fallen Order then?
No.
Oh man, I really hope I'm not missing.
That wasn't the question.
You said it's not Jedi Fallen Order then.
Yeah, it's a statement, not a question.
I'm only playing.
Unless I'm completely missing something here. Are there any other games on Stadia that are part of larger film franchises?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
What? Larger film franchises. Tomb Raider's out because it's not the film franchise is not larger than the games. Avengers is definitely in. We've already ruled out Jedi Fallen Order.
There's a talent tree in Avengers. There's a talent tree in Jedi Fallen Order.
There was a Hitman film, but
the talent tree in Hitman.
Yeah.
There was an Assassin's Creed film, but I wouldn't really call it a franchise.
No.
They're making a Netflix show.
And it's also not Ubisoft.
It's also not Ubisoft.
That's true.
I think you have. I think we've figured it. I can't.
How many questions? This is not a question. How many questions have we so far?
This is not a question. Oh, you're up to 11.
Okay, right. So at this point, we might as well burn a question just to confirm it, right? By saying something along the lines of, does this game feature the character Iron Man?
Yes.
There we go. We've got it.
Yeah, we got it. Is this game Marvel's Avengers?
Yes.
Hey.
I hesitated there, just thinking, what's the game actually called? Because it's called Avengers.
Yeah, is this game called Avengers? No.
There was a few points where I was thinking, I wonder when you said about movies, I thought you might have went the Power Rangers route.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It didn't even come to mind.
No.
And then I thought...
Talent Trees. It's...
true, yeah. Talent Trees, yeah. I'm trying to think of just movie ones.
Did you actually have to look up if Square was an indie publisher?
Well, this is the argument, isn't it? Because no, like genuinely, like it's not owned. It's not a first-party studio, so technically it's independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when I can only say yes or no, it's very difficult.
You can't say everything's independent.
Well, again, technically it is.
It's independent the same way that Ubisoft is.
Yeah.
I would almost say Bethesda, but Bethesda's owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
No.
So that's when like other questions come in. So like again, I didn't want to like blatantly say yes or no because I'm very much aware that some people do say they're an independent company. But then I think after the point, Richie, you said, and I quote, Square Enix is categorically not an indie studio. I was like, all right, I think they're leaning more towards the fact it's not. But I think for future times we play this game, we should probably say the bigger studios like Square, Ubisoft, we should probably not class them as indie as we would think. Because I was very conscious of saying, if I say yes, it's indie, you guys all suddenly put your mindsets towards the 16-bit smaller titles, which could ruin the game.
Yeah. Any developer or publisher that routinely develops what would be considered AAA titles isn't indie.
They need their own, like, super indie.
Yep.
Something like that.
Super indie.
Super indie. Mega indie. Yeah. Well, congratulations, gentlemen. You are correct. You got it in 13. What was the record, Tom?
I think we said it in 10.
Oh, 10. So it's still...
You were just throwing questions out at the end. Just
I
think we wanted to get to around 10.
But no, well done. It is Marvel's Avengers, obviously from Square Enix. The technical indie studio plays many characters. I was curious as well to see if you went down the route of asking them more about the weapons, because you wrote off it not being a shooter, but then I thought there's like many weapons to talk about here, and I thought you could get it very quickly if someone asked like, do you use a bow and arrow? Do you use, because then if is it a male protagonist, I would have had to say no, but yes, because there's multiple, so.
I'd argue the protagonist for Marvel's Avengers is Kamala Khan.
I would also agree with that. Yeah.
True. But then this is
we didn't go down the route of asking about online multiplayer as well at all.
We didn't. The reason why my mind was generally blank. No games were really coming into mind. I was thinking of games that it wasn't.
Yeah, but I've got to admit, I was trying to think of questions we don't normally ask as well. Like I'm getting quite conscious about in these episodes of like asking the same questions every single time. And even though they're good questions to ask, I sort of want to spice it up. Do you know what I mean? Like just make sure it is new.
Like Katsu Nuggets.
Yeah, like Katsu Nuggets. Or asking did the game come out to Stadia in 2020?
That's sure gonna keep people on their toes.
When you say that question, it's like.
I mean, it either removes 150 games or it keeps them.
Well, how many games came out in 2019? You got Tomb Raider.
I think we may have
Destiny.
30 games or something at the end.
Farm Sim. Sam Shaw.
More than I'd
say. It really.
I'm pretty sure we had a list of like 2022 to begin with, didn't we?
Go back to like podcast episode like 1 and see what.
Oh no! Like before we finished this episode, didn't we have like there was a list of 22 when they announced that it was coming, and then it dropped down to like 12 games or something like that.
Oh yeah, because off the website.
Yeah, they got delayed and stuff like that as well. So
no FIFA 19.
Well, like Doom Eternal was initially.
Yeah, Doom Eternal.
Doom 2016 was.
Yep. And now we're on the cusp of 400 titles across several years, so...
Ooh, 2021 is going to be a good year!
Any plans to play anything this afternoon, gentlemen, later this evening? Before we wrap up?
Yes.
What are you playing?
If you listen to the podcast back on Monday, you'll know during the show I actually bought Immortal Phoenix Rising during the show.
So you finished it now?
No, I haven't played it yet because I haven't actually left this seat.
Well, as of Friday, when this goes on free feeds, you finished it, right?
Yeah. Probably not, because it's either going to be that or Ari that I'm going to jump into this afternoon.
Ari.
Okay.
Ari. Is it winter?
I don't know. Could be.
Is it snowing, Ari?
Anyway. I'll probably jump back into some Immortals Phoenix Rising later today as well. Either that or I might even dabble with a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I saw you bought that.
Yeah.
You've not played it before, right?
I did. I played the prologue on PS4. I have got it on PS4, but I do not use my PlayStation at all anymore. I just don't.
Mine's not even attached to my TV. It's actually attached to that monitor that I'm looking at right now.
That one right there.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
That one.
See if you can see it in the mirror dimension. That one there. You can.
That one.
That one. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
This has been the Sounds of Stadia post-show episode number 24. One episode for every hour of the day. Go fill your boots. Thank you very much for watching once again, and our patrons at patreon.com/soundsofstadia for getting this episode exclusively early before free feeds get it as well. But thank you for all of your support. We'll no doubt be back with possibly another Game 20 questions. Thanks for playing along at home. We'll see you on the Sounds of Stadia podcast next Monday. Stay tuned, have fun, play games. My name's been Chris.
I've been Tom.
I've been Richie.
This has been the Sounds of Stadia post show 24. Take care, goodbye, have a good one. Bye. Good night, if Richie was there. Good night. Don't think that's the theme tune, is it?
It is now.
Whichever one you put on the outro.